Welcome to Home Dad Chat, brought to you by the National At Home Dad Network. My name is Brock,
My name is Danny.
and we are here to talk about life as stay at home dads. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
No, I don't want much. I even love handmade crafts made of macaroni. Come on now, you should know me. Times I might eat too much. No worry about my weight, got the dad bod rocking on me. Sketches on my feet, cargo shorts look good on me. I'm a dad, that's what I do.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the show. Hope you're doing well. Danny, how are you doing, buddy?
Chilling like a villain.
Okay. What kind
I
of
was,
villain
I
would you
was
what kind of villain would you be, Danny? Really?
probably some goofy butt Gru or something. Some stumble through Pink Panther detective type garbage. Yeah, that'd be me.
I like it.
Or
Like it a lot.
Doofenshmirtz. Doofenshmirtz was actually one of my favorite villains, only because he was so lovable, because he was so goofy. He was
Yep.
very sincere, and yeah, he was my dude. What about you, friend? I couldn't
Snively
see you as a
Whiplash.
villain. Really? Okay. All right.
I always Snively
Now,
Whiplash
tell the
or
kids who
Wile E.
that
Coyote,
is.
or Wile E. Coyote, one of the two.
Tell
Snively
the kids who
Whiplash,
that is.
from
I know.
gosh, why can't I come up with the guy's
The
name now?
80s.
Oh no, he's older than that, I think.
Dudley
Gosh,
Do Right.
Dudley Do Right. Yes, that's what it is. Sorry, I don't know. I had
Canadian
just a
Mountie.
massive blank. That show is just hilarious in itself. I honestly, I'm very surprised that cartoon was never made into a live action of some kind. Like,
I could see that, I guess.
you got Brendan Fraser playing George of the Jungle. I think he could have very easily
I don't know
gone
why I
on to
think it
do Dudley Do
was.
Right. Or was it?
Wasn't it a movie? I don't know.
Oh my
I
gosh.
honestly,
IMDb to the rescue. Oh, we're going to really, here we go. We're starting this off so well today.
yep. So our listeners know. Yeah,
It
Dudley
was
Do
made
Right. It was
into a
Brendan
movie.
Fraser.
And it was
Look at
Brendan Fraser.
you.
Oh my
Look at
gosh.
you.
Okay.
You're a
See,
prophet.
my brain was definitely there going. It was there. Yeah, that makes total sense. So yeah, Brendan Fraser is Dudley Do Right and also is George of the Jungle. I think that it
He
just
fits it.
fits his persona so well.
And yet, and I don't want to get too far off on this, but
Yeah,
he
let's not.
has such acting chops.
Oh, he's a
He
wide
really
range.
does. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing with the stuff that you've seen him in. But I just want to tell everybody, Dudley Do Right. The movie came out in '99.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
26 years ago, 27 years ago,
Ugh,
technically.
killing me.
And then the series, the cartoon was 1969 to 1970.
Yes.
I was alive, but that's it. And I don't think more than 5 people listening to the show would remember the actual seeing it in live. I'm sure we saw reruns. But Snidely Whiplash, really? Why?
I just thought he was an interesting character.
Yeah,
And I mean, he's got a pretty impressive mustache, so
true.
that's
Yeah,
that's the
that's
other that'd
what
be
he's
the
all
other thing
about.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well, we did talk, and I'll just let the listeners know we did talk before the show how we're trying to stay focused, and we've
we are
immediately
trying to stay
destroyed that.
focused.
And
We
we're trying
did.
to not talk about the weather,
We're
which
definitely not talking about that.
we've done very well. I
Don't bring
think
it
we've
up.
had like
Don't bring it
two
up.
shows in a row. So yeah, it's too easy.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you've got going on this month. Is it Snively or Snidely? It's Snide with a D, isn't it? Snidely?
I think
Snidely.
it's Snidely.
He's a snide remark kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So
What do I got
Snidely.
going on this week though?
Yeah. Or this month.
Well, I mean, as we record today, it is my birthday today, so
What? Are you
yeah.
30 again?
Ha! Whew, wow.
40?
That train left the yard long time ago, as the song goes. No, I'm 46 today, so
All
yeah,
right.
it's pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean,
Happy birthday.
hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was talking to my parents actually yesterday about just the fact that I was 46 and my dad was just like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I have a 46-year-old son. I'm the
Yeah.
oldest in the family." And I said, I was like, at 46, I was like, "Where were you guys at 46?" Oh, that's right. You had a son who had just moved to Cincinnati at 46 when you were 46 years old. It's just crazy because they're like 20 years, there's a 20-year gap there.
Yeah.
And so it's like
Yeah.
looking back, wow, I just moved to Cincinnati and here we are. What
I
crazy
can't.
20 years that was.
Let's see. I would have been 23 when my mom was 46, or my dad was 46. Yeah. So about 23. So yeah. I
Yeah,
don't think about it. I don't. There was, I'm sorry for anybody that's under this age, but until you're 30, my
trust
opinion,
me.
you don't know what you don't even know who you are. I mean, you're
Well,
just fumbling through it. So
only in these
I was
past
for
few
sure.
years too, though, have I like, I'm like, okay, like I'm this age, and I can actually go back and be like, what were my parents doing at that time? And you're like, oh my gosh, like I was actually an adult when they were an adult, and
Yeah.
okay, that's just wild. And it's
Yeah.
also very wild to be like, we're definitely not on the same timelines of thing. Like there's
No.
a definite difference. I mean, like they had grown kids in college.
Hmm.
I have two small children in lower school, like and one in
Yeah.
middle school. It's totally
Yeah.
different sides of the coin.
I got both of those.
Yeah, you do. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I'm 56. So I don't know where my parents were when they were 56. I have
Yeah.
no idea. Can't imagine. Probably working their butts off trying to pay bills, I'm sure. At least my mom.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so that's going on this month. I don't know. There's really not a ton. Like other than that, oh, well,
Yeah.
Hezekiah's got his first jujitsu promotions coming up, so
Nice.
just kind of see where things are there. He's actually progressing quite well with it and picking up. Yesterday was like his most intense class that he's been on and or
Hmm.
been in, and he did really well. Like he actually got paired up with a kid that was about a foot taller than him, and he had figured out how to take him
That's
down and pinned
good.
him.
I was going to say that's a disadvantage right there,
Yeah,
especially at that age.
he figured it out, and I was super excited. He was on the far, far end of the mat from where I was sitting, and
Hmm.
so I was like peering around, like trying to see him with everybody else on there, and
Right.
got watched him basically take this kid down. I'm like, yeah, all right, now we're into something. Now we're doing stuff.
Right.
Okay, so and he
Yeah.
was super excited about it and all sweaty, and I'm just like, I've never seen this kid sweat like this before, and he was pumped about it. So
Good.
one
Good.
of those things where it's like you just kind of get that final, sort of like acknowledgement that, we chose right as
Hmm.
to what
Yeah,
to put him in,
and you love to see it when your kid finds that thing,
right?
and just starts just running with it, literally sometimes. When my 16-year-old, I I put everybody into soccer. I'm like, no, we're going to try soccer and see what you think because your mom loves soccer and we're, big history in the family. So let's try it. And none of the kids really responded to it very well because they were young. It was the U8 crowd, so there wasn't a lot there. But when my 16-year-old went in, he took to it like a fish to water. And just like his mom, immediately started telling people what to do and would have been captain on the team if they'd had one at that age, right? And he just immediately stepped into that
Yeah.
and realized that he couldn't run well or well enough to stay in soccer. And he said, there's a running club at school. I'd like to try that.
Nice.
And he did, and he hated it. And he
Okay.
hated it and he hated it and hated it. And he kept going anyway. And I kept taking him anyway. And then suddenly all the training kicked in and he's running around the soccer field and he actually looks over at me and smiles and waves while he runs by. And I'm like, now this is your element right now. Now when we moved, he didn't want to get back into sports here. I think because being the new kid, there's a lot of pressure there,
Yeah.
especially because this is a very sports oriented part of the world here in Wisconsin. And
Well,
let it
yeah,
go, but still, it was amazing to see him thrive, and to
definitely.
recognize this is a limit that I have. How do I break that limit? How do I get better than this? It's
Yeah.
very cool. It sounds like
Well,
Hezekiah is right there.
he's definitely right there. Actually, it was really funny. There's a girl that's a couple years younger than him that's in the class, but she's been in the class for a while and she competes on a pretty high level. But she acts sort of like a dead fish when it comes to being on the mat for training. And she doesn't move around. And I told Hezekiah, I was like, just you gotta switch her on. She's kind of like a robot. Like she comes in there and she's just sort of powered down. And unless you can somehow energize her, like she will not react a lot.
Yeah.
And so they were all paired up and you could see he was getting frustrated with her and he just stops her and he's like, "Hey, we're here to train. Let's go." And she's
Right.
okay. And she literally like flips him over her leg and he's laying there on the mat looking up and he goes, "That's what I'm talking about."
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
I was laughing so hard because you could see him say something to her, and then the next thing you know, like she just snaps him, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" But he like had a big smile on his face, and it was just so funny. But it's it's things like that. It's like, all right, well, I never really thought that I would be encouraging my kid in that way to be like, all right, let's go, let's like actually let's get into this kind of thing with another person. But it works so well. So yeah, so that's going really good. Oh, I'm taking the kids to their very first Pokemon card show this month. That's another thing
Wow.
that we're doing. So I decided to sort of get into Pokemon cards myself here recently. Just
I knew it was
for,
coming.
I mean, I like the art anyway, so I can't handle the cart. I will not get into the cartoon or like the video games or anything like that. But the cards are cool, and the community for Pokemon is really awesome. So I think that's
Yeah.
where things are. But yeah, they're gonna go to their first card show, and we'll see how that plays out. But
Nice.
yeah, I mean that's pretty much the month, really. Not a whole lot going on. Oh, I might be getting a
Yeah.
couple tattoos actually for my birthday. Corey told me to go schedule time in the chair to get a couple of long awaited tattoos. So I'm going to be finally getting my daughter's footprints from her birth certificate on my chest, like I have on the other side for my son. And then I am getting my suicide survival tattoo that I've been working on for quite a while. And
Awesome.
I'll keep that one a surprise. Well,
Yeah. I can't wait to see it.
so yeah, so that's I sent them off. I'm waiting to hear back from the tattoo artist. We'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. What about you, man? You
Cool.
got anything big for January?
Yeah. Going to winter camp.
Oh, that's right.
Gonna spend, I think, 2 days. I think it's a Friday night and Saturday, and maybe to Sunday. I've got my days off till Sunday, and yeah, I'm not ready. But I did go, and I don't want to get too much into this, but I did put my name in to put my name on the ballot to be county supervisor for the district that I'm living in. Local politics is just, I think, very important, but not to get off into that, but what I did is walk my neighborhood and ask, because you need a minimum for this position, a minimum of 20 signatures from residents in the district, right? And so I geared up and I walked the neighborhood, and it was bitterly cold. It was awful, but the wind, no wind really. So, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I did get my toes got really cold, and I recognize I need to change those, boots out, but they didn't get like frostbite cold. It was just more uncomfortable, and I should be wearing something else. But walked the whole neighborhood, and I probably spent I went out and then came back and got lunch and went out again. So maybe 4 hours walking in the snow. It was great. And I don't know why, but I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to it because we're going to a campsite that has a hike involved. I
Okay.
don't know much about the details. Greg Clapp is putting it together, and he said, yeah, there's a hike. There's a place you really can't even get to unless the lake is frozen. So we're going to, go see that because it's, a very rare view. I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. I am concerned I'm going to freeze to death and die. Just going to
And is
say it.
this is all dads from the network?
Yep. Well, I don't
Okay.
know I know from the Milwaukee City Dads group, definitely. But,
Okay.
definitely dads that you would know in the group. Yeah.
Okay.
Eric Schoberg and Paul Gordon and of course Greg Clapp. And I don't remember who else is going, but yeah,
That sounds like a lot of bourbon.
they do it every year. Yeah, they do it. And they were doing it originally for the Milwaukee Diaper Bank as a fundraiser. And I don't know if they're doing that this year. I haven't been paying attention to the Milwaukee Dads group. It's
Okay.
2.5 hours away. So I
I
kind
might
of
have to
I like
plan
to
that
be
out
here.
to come up. I might have to plan out to come up for that next year
Yeah, absolutely. And I
because
will
I've
be,
heard about
yeah,
I've heard about it the past couple of years. So
hmm,
yeah,
yeah. And it's kind of like a mini home dad con.
yeah.
And that's what we're always looking for. We're looking to find a way without all the speakers and the cost, but we're looking to find a way to hang out with these dads that we know that are awesome dads and awesome people. And I really, I'm delighted that they invited me again because they've invited me 3 times, I think. And each time something came up or I had to say no, or the weather, I wasn't sure. So, Greg asked me and I'm like, yes, absolutely. I've got it. I put it on my calendar. I will be there. I'm going to drive my Suburban. I'm going to sleep in the back of the Suburban, more than likely, unless there's a camper. So when he brings a camper, I'm going to ask. But again, got to have my CPAP. So got to have that. I got to have a power plug somewhere for that. And then really a heater in the
Yeah,
truck
that's what I was gonna say.
because,
What are
yeah,
you doing to stay warm?
yeah, yeah. And I've been looking at people that car camp all the time. And there's this amazing setup that this one person had that basically they built a platform, you know, with all the seats down, they built a platform on it and then put a warming or like a blanket, a warming pad, and then another blanket and their, you know, their sleeping bag and all that. And then they have a little heater and they have a power bank in there and just all the stuff. And I told Marnie, I said, I may have to go buy some plywood. And she's like, no, we do not, you do not have time to build this platform between now. And I'm like, that sounds like a challenge. She's like, yeah, ADHD
Challenge
sounds like
ex-
a challenge.
Challenge
Not gonna
exciting.
get it done. You don't have time to get done with all the stuff you're doing. But I love the idea of it, and I want to have it for later, just to have. And it has like a little fold-out table that she attaches to it and stuff, so you can. It's
Yeah.
amazing, and I'm like, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. But more than likely, it'll just be me in two sleeping bags because that's been recommended multiple times, and a blanket inside it as well. And then I can't remember what else, but the big thing for me is wool, not cotton. And I all of my clothes are cotton. I mean, the things that I have that are wool, basically Marnie made for me. You know,
Yeah.
I've got an amazing scarf and a hat and a sweater, all wool, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I got my fleece lined pants now, and you know, taking my snowsuit just in case, my snow boots and all that, and
You need
I'm
some
gonna
wool. You need
miss
some nice
my
thick
cotton.
wool socks, sir.
Yeah, I got those on the list.
Yep.
I'm going to get snowmobile gloves was the recommendation. I may get heated gloves instead because my fingers get really cold. That is an issue that I have. But snowmobile gloves evidently are the thing because they're wind, I don't know, proof, but
Wind
resistant at
resistant.
least and
Yeah.
water, you know, proof and all that. And that's what you need. And I'm like, yeah, all right. I got a little shopping list. That's cool. Unfortunately, as my birthday is also coming up soon, that will probably
Yeah.
be my birthday present. I get wool socks and snowmobile gloves, and I'll be like, thanks,
There you go.
thanks,
Survival gear.
great, right? And I guess it is a good thing, but I'm really excited about that. I think that's probably going to be the highlight. The only thing that's in any way negative about it is that's the weekend that Fabian goes back to college. So I'm not going to really be able to take him back to college this time. Marnie's got it, no problem. But I really enjoy that time with him, just the two of us. So in order to make up for that, in a way, I'm taking him, just he and I, tomorrow to go see the new Avatar movie,
Ooh,
Fire and Ash, I think it is.
fire and
I know it's
ash. Yep.
Fire, and
3 hours long.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's, can we get popcorn and a drink? And I'm like, you can get popcorn. I don't even want a drink because you get to sit there for 3.5 hours or whatever.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
Have you?
yeah, to make up
That's a
that time.
long
And
time.
I've heard it was great. I've heard it
Oh
was
no, I've
really
heard it's
good.
awesome too. Yeah,
You know,
definitely. The kids are all excited about it, but they realize 3 hours is a long time,
Mhm.
and we're just gonna wait for it to come on streaming. We'll watch it at home. We can
Exactly.
pause it whenever we want to and
Yep.
eat our own food and all that kind of stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
we'll make it exciting. It's all good.
I asked the other kids, I'm like, are you interested in this movie to the point where you want to go see it in the theater? Because we don't go to the theater often. And the other three were like, no, it looks good, but we can wait. I'm like, good.
Any
'Cause-
movie where the mention beforehand
Just-
is maybe we need a catheter or I need to wear
Yeah.
adult diapers is usually that's yeah.
Make sure you pee twice.
The entire theater smells like urine. Why is that? There wasn't any children in there. Yeah, well, there were a bunch of
You know,
grown
things
children in
happen.
there.
But
Yeah.
but yes, I think that's probably the two big things right now. I'm not really excited about my birthday. I still not having grown up with birthdays and celebrating birthdays, and I don't want to celebrate myself really. It's, you know, so it's kind of weird. And we just had Christmas, so I got the present I wanted. So we're good, you know. But yeah, so I got to come up with something else for, like I said,
I feel
little
that. Yeah.
socks and a pair of gloves. There you go.
Yeah.
But I did ask her, I said, if I could find a charge bank, like a power bank that was under $200, would you be willing to, could we put that in the budget? And she's still undecided. So we'll see. But that would be something I would like because I could use that a lot, you know, because everywhere we go, I need power so I can breathe, you know.
Yeah, that's helpful. That would definitely be helpful.
Yeah, helpful. Breathing is good.
Well, also going on this month on a larger scale of things is the membership drive. I've seen things get posted about that recently. So
Oh yeah.
that's another big thing. I know that there is a goal set of trying to get to 200 members for that.
Hmm.
So that's a that I think that would be really awesome to hit that. Also, too, we're got there's all kinds of different things to grab up on for just like being a member, which is really cool, along with the fact that, we always talk about it. You're going to get access to all of the videos from past conventions to take, to get it, watch and learn from. But to me is one of the probably the bigger resources. But also too, I mean, you spend a little bit over the normal, which is the 35, is it 35?
Yep.
Yeah,
35.
35 for the year. I mean, 50 gets you a free dad hugs t-shirt. 70 gets you a sweatshirt for or a hoodie for dads don't babysit. And then, just kind of keep in mind that a convention ticket plus membership this year is 335 for that. So, and it's the 30th anniversary as well for the convention. So that's exciting
Hmm.
itself. Or you can do lifetime member for 500. And I
That's the
think
way to
too,
go.
something to keep
You'll
in
get my
mind on that.
personal thanks.
Well, the thing too with that is that if your spouse works for a company where they match what you donate to a nonprofit, you basically can cut that in half and spend 250, and they're gonna, your company's paying 250, and then there's your
Yeah.
there's your lifetime membership that way
It's
too.
yes.
So,
It's really accessible. I think a lot more than I think people recognize. It is definitely.
well, there's so many businesses that do that now too, where they're like, yeah, oh, like they even have where you can actually set up like a donation account type of deal and put money into it type of thing. And then you send in what you're wanting to do and then they double up on it. So it's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
And I want to clarify or just reiterate a couple of things on it with the membership drive. First and foremost, we're not trying to paywall anything that we offer.
No, no.
Like the podcast, obviously, nobody's paying for that. That's just we'll talk as long as you'll let us. But things like the Dad Lounge, Dad's Got to Talk offerings as well. We have a weekly RPG, tabletop RPG that's running. All of those things are still available without being a paid member.
Yeah.
We want to make sure people understand that. We really want people to be a paid member because we do have bills and we have things that we come out every year that, we need to keep the lights on, as it were. But we are trying to figure which one of them, which one of the tiers, 35, 50, or 70, and I'm thinking it's 50, we're calling the Don't Ask Me to Volunteer. And it's that point where you realize you want to be a member of the organization, but you don't want to have to do any of the garbage that you and I do all the time. The board and all that other stuff, all the committees and teams we got going. Just don't ask me to volunteer, and I'll pay the extra
So is that
15.
the ad? That's the ad free tier. Is that what that is? And the line of
Basically.
streaming
Yep.
services.
Yep. It's like, you want to add free, go to 50. Yeah. But I do want to make sure because the way that looking at it, we're really pushing that membership, but it's not something that we're putting a paywall up for anybody.
Yeah.
We want, and then you agree, I think, the board now, and the board has always wanted to give things to at home dads to build this community and at no issue, no charge. However, if you're really enjoying the content, if you really, the Dad Lounge is great for you, or you're on the Discord, you're learning a lot of stuff, yes, please consider making that $35 donation for an annual membership because it really helps.
Yeah.
And and it's equipment and stuff that we need. And it's not like my salary and your salary.
Oh,
We pay that with breath. That's
I think I just heard. Wait, I just think I heard my chicken sound off, and oh look, there's my goose egg.
Yep. Yep. A big zero. But
Yeah,
again, it's a passion project and I love it. And I think you love it just as much as I do. And we're
yeah,
absolutely willing. But we need to clarify that nobody's getting paid. That 35 is definitely going towards things that the organization needs. So just to be aware of it. So
no,
I'll pay
definitely, yeah.
$35. Come on, help me out.
And two, pay it now, and then you get to enjoy all that throughout the year, and because
Hmm.
at the end of the year it stops. So
Yep.
paying for it right before you go to the convention, you're only utilizing a few months
A
of
few
it.
months of it. Yeah.
So that's the other thing. I think that it's a little different than, oh yeah, back in the day it was like your membership was lopped into buying your convention ticket.
Yeah.
And then you
Right.
had it for kind of that year going forward type of thing. Change that up a little bit. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. We're much more than a convention. Although
Much
convention is
more than a
huge.
convention.
But yeah, much more than a convention, much more than a Facebook page, y'all. Come on. I got a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, the membership drive, I think, is the biggest thing. And we will be making more announcements about it as the month goes on. We do it twice a year. So we will be back around Father's Day. But now's the best time, like you said, because you get the most value.
Yeah. Well, and two, around Father's Day, you get tax returns and stuff at that point starting to roll. So that's the other side of that as well.
You
So
go for that big 500. You're right.
there it is. Yep. But yeah, so that's what's going on for this month. So yeah, if you haven't or didn't know that was going on with the membership drive, now you do, and now's your opportunity to jump on. This is the only time that we're gonna bring it up right now. I don't. Well,
Yeah, more than likely.
we're trying to stay focused on things, guys. That's what's going on. We're just trying to stay focused, and
Yep.
trust me, we're not good at it. We're not good at it at all. All right.
Right. And as a nonprofit, we don't want to be constantly asking for money, but we kind of need to be. There's things
Right.
I've seen so many people that have shelled out their own money to keep this organization, to make this organization better, to change it, to add things to it that we never would have thought we needed until we get it. Little things, like having our own projectors at the convention for the breakout sessions and stuff. That is such a huge step forward. Of course, projectors have also gotten really cheap. So there's that. But not having to rent the giant ones for anything other than the keynotes is a huge deal. And someone
Yeah.
basically paid their own money for that. It's a wonderful thing, but we would like the membership to be handling, that cost, of course, if possible.
Yeah. Definitely. Definitely.
No pressure.
So yeah,
Little
so
bit of
that's
pressure.
so there's the sort of rundown for what's going on there. I think that going forward, you and I are going to sit down and kind of sort of talk through what we want to content wise deliver to the listener and
Mhm.
get that put in place so that we're not just trust me, I'll tell you guys, just to give you a little peek behind the curtain, Danny and I, like, it's hey, good morning, I'm here. What are we talking about? I don't know. I just barely
Let's
like I
figure it
literally
out.
crawled from the couch to my desk to get on this microphone and talk. And so having the ability to brainstorm and figure out a much more conducive way to bring content in is I think going to be super helpful. We also like I really am wanting to get just some quality interviews with different guys in the network. Honestly, there's so many guys that are doing different things that have really cool stories. We've talked about the PTO. That's not for us, but I would love to get a dad on here who's really into it to talk about it because I think that sometimes when you hear somebody with passion for it, you're like, oh, I can do that. I would enjoy that type of thing. Or, even just having somebody to be able to go to and be like, I was thinking about it. Can I get some off air, like insight from you type of thing? So just stuff like that. Like I really want to see some of our listeners send us like, hey, I would like to come on and talk about this specific topic and
What's your
have that. Like,
passion?
yeah. What's your
Right?
passion?
Is
What
it trains or dinosaurs? Which one is it? It
Is
should
it
be trains.
Pokemon or One Piece? Which
Yeah.
is it?
Magic the Gathering.
Oh, there. Okay, yeah, that
That's
too.
a commitment.
Yeah. So just if that's something, I think that just putting the call out there, of, hey, send us your stuff, like what you want to do. You don't even have to be like a professional at it. Like just if you're passionate about it, or it's something where you're like, man, I really wish they would talk about this topic. And Danny and I, we're only so deep, and sometimes you get to the bottom of the well and there's nothing there but dirt.
Yep.
So,
Just dirt.
yeah, so it helps to have other people come in to fill up that space. So that's what I'm trying to say. We could use your intellect. That's the main thing. But anyway, I'll get off my merry-go-round. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got to talk about.
Same.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get off of here and I'm gonna go try to do some things for my birthday. So
You
you
do
have to
that.
go on Instagram or whatever and see what all I get involved in with that. But we'll talk to y'all next week, I guess. Sound good?
Yep. Good night,
All right,
everybody.
man. Good night.
I'm a dad, that's what I do.